Hate ads? Subscribe to Acast Plus now to skip ads and more. Click the link in our show notes to learn how. Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
More names.
It was all descendants of Benjamin. The
It
end.
was.
That's
Yeah, it was a really short chapter, actually.
Yeah.
So, we don't have too much to go, is the bright side of this.
Of the names.
Of the names.
Right.
The names, yeah. We're going to, I think you and I, we're going to sit here and we're going to bust out some episodes because we want to get through it ourselves.
Yeah, we're going to do a record them all in one day kind of thing.
Yeah. But we're going to still sparse them out every day. So.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's a few more days. A couple more days at least.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So anyway, yesterday was 1 Chronicles chapter 8.
Sure as fuck was.
And today we're getting into
1 Chronicles chapter 9.
Let's do this.
Okie dokie.
Hey, wife.
Yes, husband.
Did you know that we are now on Patreon?
Yes, because you told me, but also, no, tell me more.
So we're on Patreon now.
Are we?
We are. And our supporters can go there and support us. And we have multiple levels all the way up to You Killed God.
That sounds really drastic and escalated quickly-ish.
Well, no, there's multiple levels before there. So it escalates on a sliding scale of, cheap to not cheap.
Oh.
But, we can definitely use any amount. So, any support is always appreciated.
So what exactly is Patreon?
It's a place where you can show your support for our podcast. And
just our podcast?
Any podcast or any performer. But, we're the ones that, you're listening to right now. So maybe you should, support us. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. But we love you anyway.
So all you got to do is go to Patreon, look up Sacrilegious Discourse. It's actually patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse is our actual main page there. So head on over and send us some love.
Yeah. All right. 1 Chronicles chapter 9.
All right.
I think we've got a little bit of story here, maybe, in with the words.
Okay.
All
right.
So all Israel was listed in the genealogical records.
All
of them. All Israel.
They didn't miss anybody.
In the returning exiles. The people of Judah were exiled to Babylon because they were unfaithful to the Lord.
For hundreds of years.
Hundreds. Like centuries.
Yeah.
The first of the exiles to return to their property in their former towns were priests, Levites, temple servants, and other Israelites.
Did the land just stay vacant the entire time?
I doubt
Was it
it.
Just waiting for their return?
I doubt it.
Okay. I mean, it's just interesting, the way they're saying this. They're not really explaining how they came back.
Right.
They're just saying they returned. Look at our empty house. It's great to be back. Yay!
Yeah. Oh, remember we used to walk down this street?
Right.
It's still here.
Yeah, it's still here. Nothing happened. It's all the same. It's crazy.
Yeah. Some of the people from the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, Ephraim, and Manasseh came and settled in Jerusalem.
Okay.
They settled there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One family that returned was that of Uthai, son of Ammihud, son of Omri, son of Imri, son of Bani, a descendant of Perez, son of Judah.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So Judah's descendant.
Yeah, right.
They could have just summarized that with a descendant of Judah.
Right.
Others returned from the Shilonite clan, including Uzziah, the oldest, and his sons. From the Zerahite clan, Jeuel returned with his relatives. In all, 690 families from the tribe of Judah returned.
That's it? I mean, I guess a lot, but
690 families.
Right. I guess families were pretty big back then too.
I mean, even if you just doubled that for their spouses, that's like 1,400.
Right.
So that's a lot.
Yeah.
Ish.
Right.
For an exiled group of people.
Sure.
From the tribe of Benjamin came Salu, sons of or son of, he's just one person.
Okay.
Son of Meshullam, son of Hedaviah, son of Hasanua, Ibneiah, son of Jeroham. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. Jeroam.
They're really impressed with how they can trace lineage back.
Mm-hmm. It's very important to them.
Yeah, I guess it is.
To keep it straight, to show the direct line from David.
I guess. Couldn't they just say it's a direct line? Like, just leave it at that?
To prove it, though.
But it doesn't really prove it now.
Well, I mean, some families today are very excited about their lineage.
Yeah.
And they want to show proof. So, they join Ancestry.com and they make those family trees.
So you're saying this is the original Ancestry.com, basically?
Yeah, I am.
Got it.
I mean, it's easy for you to say that, like, this is boring and why was it important to them?
Right.
But people today are, like, so excited to show who they were related to.
You're absolutely right.
And
you're absolutely right.
Not only that, but why do you want to keep your last name instead of change it?
Because it's my last name.
Right, but why is it important?
Because of my family.
I thought it wasn't important.
It is.
If lineage wasn't important to you, you wouldn't give a fuck about your last name.
True. I guess you're right.
See? Let's see. Elah, son of Uzi, son of Mikri, and Melesham, son of Shephatiah, that's it. Son of Reuel, son of Ibnijah.
Okay.
I'm really kicking ass on these, huh?
You're doing a bang-up job.
I'm doing better than you would.
You definitely are.
These men were all leaders of clans. Don't do it.
I'm not doing it.
And they were listed in their genealogical records.
Okay.
As I said already.
Right.
In all, 956 families from the tribe of Benjamin returned.
Oh,
That's
I see.
more.
So, there's... I see. So you're going to list them off by family who's returning.
Yeah. Among the priests who returned were Jediah, that's it, Jediah, Jehorib, Jakin, Azariah, son of Hilkiah, son of Meshullam, son of Zadok, son of Meriath, son of Ahitub. Azariah was the chief officer of the house of God.
Okay.
It's the chief officer.
Yeah.
Other returning priests were God damn it, stop laughing at me.
What?
Son of Jeroam, son of Pashur, son of Milkijah, and Masai, son of Adil, son of Jezerah, son of Meshullam, son of Immer.
Yeah, those guys. I got it. It's all clear now.
Shut up. I just can't with all these names. It's just, I mean, I understand why it was important to them. Like, I just defended why it was important to them.
Yeah.
But that is a separate subject of why it should be important to me.
Right.
And me tripping over this shit.
Yeah.
In all, 1,760 priests returned.
Wow.
They were heads of clans and very able men.
Very able men.
Yeah,
Not just
they
able
were.
men, but very able.
Yeah, they were. They were responsible for ministering at the house of God. Is that what the kids call it today?
I mean, they were able to.
I'm ministering. Able to. Get the fuck out of here. The Levites who returned from Shemaiah, son of Hashub, son of Azrikam, son of Hashabiah, a descendant of Merari, Bakbakar, Haresh, Galal, Mattaniah, son of Micah, son of Zikri, son of Asaph, son of Obadiah, son of Shemaiah, son of Galal, son of Jeduthun, and Berechiah, son of Asa, son of Elkanah, who I messed up. I was just like, my mouth was going ahead of me. Son of.
Oh,
sorry.
bitch. Yeah.
Son of Elkanah, who lived in the area of Netophah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I had something in my brain and then it left really quick.
That happens to you.
It didn't stay there very long.
No.
And I just felt like I had to say something, like I had to interject something. So I think my mouth started moving before my brain fully collated a thought.
Kind of like how my mouth kept moving with son of.
Yeah.
Like, no, rein it in.
Yeah.
The gatekeepers who returned were Shalom, Akub, Talman, Ahiam, and their relatives. Shallum was the chief gatekeeper.
And gatekeepers must have been a really important job.
They needed a keymaster.
Yeah, right.
Ghostbusters. Prior to this time, they were responsible for the King's Gate on the east side. East Side Gang, what? These men served as gatekeepers for the camps of the Levites.
Okay.
Shallum was the son of Kor, a descendant of Abasaph, son from the clan of Korah. He and his relatives, the Korahites, were responsible for guarding the entrance to the sanctuary, just as their ancestors had guarded the tabernacle.
What's the difference
in the
between
camp of the Lord?
What's the difference between a gatekeeper and somebody guarding the entrance to the place?
The entrance to the house might not be the same as the gate to the lands.
Okay. I just wondered.
Is my guess.
I just wonder what the different distinction is between those functions. That's all.
I'm going to guess that one is the entrance to the land and one is the entrance to the house proper.
Got it. Okay.
Like the grounds.
Sure.
Versus the building.
Okay.
Phinehas, son of Eleazar, had been in charge of the gatekeepers in earlier times, and the Lord had been with him. I said that like as though I know what I'm talking about, and I don't know that for a fact. Like, that's just my guess.
Right. No, I gotcha.
And later, Zechariah, son of Meshullam, was responsible for guarding the entrance to the tabernacle.
Okay.
In all, there were 212 gatekeepers in those days, and they were listed according to the genealogies in their villages.
It's a lot of gates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is so many gates.
Mm-hmm.
David and Samuel the seer had appointed their ancestors because they were reliable men.
Ah.
But were they able?
I don't know.
They were reliable, but were they able?
Well, reliable is one step,
Removed?
From, it's just, at least they're reliable.
Right.
They'll show up,
So if they're able, that means that they're reliable and able?
Maybe, but able doesn't necessarily mean reliable.
Oh,
It just means they're able.
So it's not a Venn...
It'd be better if you were reliable and able, I think.
I was looking for a hierarchy of, like, each step up the chain includes all of the things beneath it.
Right.
But you're saying it's more like a Venn diagram where sometimes those things overlap.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Okay.
Yeah. The ones that are reliable are sometimes able, and sometimes the ones that are able are also reliable. But maybe sometimes there's people that are neither, and then
they're not in the circles.
Right, they're not in the circles.
So why are we even talking about them?
I don't know.
I was dumb.
They're probably at the barley party.
Stupid. These gatekeepers and their descendants, by their divisions, were responsible for guarding the entrance to the house of the Lord when that house was a tent. Remember when the
tabernacle?
House was a tent?
You mean?
Remember when the house was just a tent?
I do. It was the tabernacle.
Yeah. The gatekeepers were stationed on all four sides: east, west, north, and
south.
Yeah,
figure.
All four.
All four.
All four.
But not southwest or northeast.
No, not those ones.
Right.
What are those? Cardinal directions or some shit like that?
I don't remember.
Oh, me neither.
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah. Their relatives in the villages came regularly to share their duties for 7-day periods. The 4 chief gatekeepers, all Levites, were trusted officials, for they were responsible for the rooms and treasuries at the house of God. They would spend the night around the house of God, since it was their duty to guard it and to open the gates every morning. I hope they had, like, cots.
Right.
Like pillows and stuff.
I mean, maybe they were supposed to stay awake all night to guard it. Like, maybe they would have taken shifts, probably.
Oh, that's true. I would need a place.
Although, there were some points in the Bible where people were just, like, always, like, they slept. Remember when, was it David that taunted the people and, like, by going into their camp because they were all asleep? Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes guards just go to sleep,
Sometimes guards sleep.
Like, fuck it, we'll hear if somebody walks up.
If I'm going to guard something, I need a place to plug in my CPAP machine. Just saying. Some of the gatekeepers were assigned to care for the various articles used in worship. They checked them in and out to avoid any loss. Damn.
Got it. Yeah.
They were like library cards back in the day.
Right.
Others were responsible for the furnishings, the items in the sanctuary, and the supplies, such as choice flour, wine, olive oil, frankincense, and spices. But it was the priests who blended the spices. Don't you touch the fucking spices. You just make sure they're there.
Yeah, it's the priest's job.
Mattaniah, a Levite and the oldest son of Shallum the Korahite, was entrusted with baking the bread used in the offerings.
You bake that bread.
It's too bad they didn't have bread machines.
Right?
I mean, nobody would have.
So much easier for them.
Just throw that shit in that machine and push the button and call it done.
I mean, it's not quite that simple, I found out. But, it's much simpler.
You made some really good bread, but
I did.
then you tried to...
I tried to wing it.
You tried to wing it, and you fucked that shit all up.
I fucked it up bad.
I think you probably broke the machine, honestly.
You think so?
I don't know. You haven't used it since.
Well...
You shot your confidence?
Right, yeah. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did get the bread maker from a thrift store, so there's that.
We did. It was brand new. It was like almost still in packaging.
Still in the box, yeah. And the first couple batches were really good until you went off direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we all know what happens when you go off direction.
You end up with cinnamon in your potatoes.
Oh, God, that made me cry when you did that. I'm sure I've told this story before, but there was a time when I was just craving potatoes so bad. Like, I just needed that salty, yummy potato in my mouth.
You were sick, too.
I was sick. I needed potatoes. It was the only thing that sounded good. And you brought them to me, and I was like, what is this on it? And you were like, just try it. And I was like, no. And it was cinnamon, and it tasted like shit, and I cried. I cried because it was the only thing I wanted.
But you don't understand. There was cinnamon on it because I fucked up so many other things. I was trying to cover up the rest of the crap that I fucked up.
I did understand, and
it was so bad.
And I still yell at you to this day.
There were so many spices in that thing that I put together that it was probably more spice than it was food.
Yeah, and I was like, why can't you just cook the fucking potatoes? Nobody told you to get fancy with it.
I was trying to make something,
Just don't. You don't know
extra
enough.
Special.
But you don't know enough about how
in that moment, I thought I was a gourmet chef, okay? I don't know what else to say. That's what I thought. I thought I could handle it.
I understand that you thought that, but you're stupid. You were wrong.
And have I tried to put cinnamon in potatoes since?
No, but you did similar when you tried to get jiggy with the fucking bread maker.
Well, yeah.
You went off direction.
But I didn't try to serve that to anybody.
No. No, you threw that away. And you were like, well, I fucked that up.
Right.
Yeah, just some people are meant to experiment in the kitchen and some people are meant to follow directions. Mm-hmm. You are meant to follow directions, my son.
Right.
Don't get crazy in the kitchen.
Right.
But you know what? When you do follow the directions, you make really good food.
I do. Mm-hmm. I do. I can follow those directions real good.
Mm-hmm. You do. It's tasty.
Yeah.
And some members of the clan of Kohath were in charge of preparing the bread to be set on the table each Sabbath day. The musicians, all prominent Levites, lived at the temple. They were exempt from other responsibilities since they were on duty at all hours.
Wow.
Man, they were like 24-hour
That kind of sucks, right?
I
can't.
I
guess you can't have a family and stuff, or like what's...
Right? Like, oh, I gotta go. Sorry.
Right? I'm literally... No, they sleep there, so like they literally live there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All these men lived in Jerusalem. They were the heads of Levite families. They had families.
Well, some of them didn't necessarily... they were talking about other people than just the musicians, so...
And were listed as prominent leaders in their genealogical records.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
It is crazy.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't either.
So we're moving into a next section. We're going to talk about Saul. Okay?
Okay.
Jael, the father of Gibeon, lived in the town of Gibeon. His wife's name was Maacah, and his oldest son was named Abdon. Jael's other sons were Zur, Kish, Baal, Ner, Nadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zechariah, and Mikloth.
I can't tell sometimes whether these are the same names or just like the same people. You know what I mean? Like there's so many names that get doubled up, and then it's so hard to follow because there are people that have the same names, and then there's
times when we're talking about people we've already talked about, but from a different angle.
It's really hard to follow because I'm like, I don't know if these are the same ones that they mentioned before or what, but...
I have a feeling right now these are ones that we've already heard.
Okay.
Because they're talking about them from a different angle.
Got it. Okay.
Mikloth was the father of Shimeon. All these families lived near each other in Jerusalem. Ner was the father of Kish. Kish was the father of Saul. Saul was the father of Jonathan, Malchishua, Abinadab, and Eshbaal.
I knew
some
of those at least, yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan was in love
with David. Yes.
Jonathan was the father of Merib-Baal. Merib-Baal was the father of Micah. The sons of Micah were Pithon, Melech, Tereah, and Ahaz. Ahaz was the father of Jada. Jada was the father of Elimeth, Asmaveth, and Zimri. Zimri was the father of Moza.
Moza?
Moza was the father of Benaiah. Benaiah's son was Rephaiah. Rephaiah's son was Eleasa. Eleasa's son was Azel. Azel had 6 sons. I'm going to name them off. Ready?
I'm ready.
Whose names were Azrikam, Bochera, Ishmael, Shariah, Obadiah, and Hanan. These were the sons of Azel. The end.
Yay, the end.
Woo! I didn't learn a damn thing there.
I mean, except for they're returning from exile.
They are returning from exile.
So there's that.
There is that.
And there was a little bit of story at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
We're getting there, guys.
I mean, it's
getting
better
there.
than nothing.
It is better than nothing.
We got to take our wins where we can get them.
You're right. I apologize. We need to celebrate the small victories.
That's right. And this was a small victory.
Very small victory.
Very, very small.
The tiniest of milestones.
Microscopic.
Yeah.
But, we're there. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting through this Bible, you guys.
Hopefully there's less names next time.
Fewer
Names
Not less,
next time.
Fewer. No, you're wording.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't word good.
I don't word good. You don't name good.
I do not name good, y'all.
Okay.
Well,
anyway, that was 1 Chronicles chapter 9.
Sure as fuck was.
And tomorrow we'll be back with
1 Chronicles chapter 10.
We'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my god. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.